Alright guys, so we've just received a package from One More Rep, which is a clothing brand, so we're going to try on all of these pieces that we've just received here and see how they look, see how they fit and stuff, and give some little opinions and show you guys what they are all about. This is actually one of our t-shirts as well that I'm currently wearing, but without further ado, let's open this up, see what we've got, and try it on. Alright, so first up here guys, we've got ourselves these training shorts, which are in black. They're also a large. These are absolutely insane. I actually love the feel of these. As you can see, complement the legs, they look great, feel great. Stretchy, so they'll be perfect for squatting in. We've also got ourselves some pockets, as well as an elastic waistband, which I definitely do like. So that is that. We're gonna try on the shirt next to complement these and see how that looks. So next up here guys, we've got ourselves the t-shirt on, which is the men's flex standard tee. As you can see, it looks absolutely great. We've got ourselves across our bicep here, we have the One More Rep writing in white, which I think looks really nice on the t-shirt, as well as here we have an elevated crest logo, which also adds really nicely. As you can see, that's like a sort of rubber, which I think is a really good bonus to the t-shirt. It looks really good, and from behind, that's how it all looks. But yeah, very nice t-shirt indeed. And here we have the men's lightweight jacket in grey. As you can see, it holds very nicely. This is extra large. Looks good, comfortable, also has some give to it for my size as well. So we've got the two pockets down here, as you guys can see, as well as the logo. From the back, does look very nice. I really do like this. So if you guys are looking for a bit of a lighter weight jacket as opposed to like a heavy hoodie, then this is definitely your go-to. It's very nice indeed. Definitely gonna be using this a fair bit. And last but not least, we have ourselves the men's lightweight trackies in black. These ones are larges. As you can see, they taper very nicely and hold the legs like any sports trackies you definitely want to. Definitely feel-wise, absolutely great, and I just love the way that they obviously hug the legs, as I said, without being super saggy around the calves or around the quads. I feel like they've really nailed this one, to be honest. And we've got ourselves logo here on the left, and on the back here we got the stripes with the One More Rep writing. But yes guys, that finishes up the try on haul. Highly recommend this brand. It's very, very high quality. If you guys would like to go check it out, inside the description below you guys will see the link. Go follow that, and you guys can use code JONO10 to get 10% off your order at the checkout. So make sure you go ahead, check it out. They have so many ranges there, and they also have a whole range for women as well. So if you're a female, then go ahead, check it out as well, because there is an entire range there for you. So go check it out. Let's get into the video. What is going on guys, it's Johnny here, and welcome to another video. This one here is going to be a Q&A. I put a little thing up on Instagram for you all to ask me questions for me to answer, and I got a heck of a lot of replies, so we're going to go through a couple of the ones which I did save. So we'll go through them now and read them out and answer your guys' questions. So to begin with, we have, how tall are you? So I'm actually, I think I'm 5'11", I believe. I'm not quite 6 foot, unfortunately. I know it's a little bit unattractive for some people. They go, you're not 6 foot, but no, I'm not 6 foot. I'm just under it, so I believe I'm 5'11". Didn't quite make the cut, but that's why I wear little heels on my shoes. Do you like fashion? It depends what sort of fashion. I'm not a huge fan. Like if you're talking fashion as in like sort of Gucci and Versace and all those sort of brands, I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest. I honestly think that they look trash. They don't look nice at all. I feel like it's more of a flex thing for people. They'll go out and just be like, look, I have designer clothing or fashionable clothing, this and that. But I prefer sort of like the more street style stuff. So if you're talking fashion as in like, say, more urban-y sort of look or like more street look, then yes, definitely. But if you're talking catwalk sort of stuff, definitely not a fan. What is your current training split? So at the moment, I don't really have so much of a full-on split. I more train one muscle per day, or like one muscle group per day, I should say. So for instance, Monday I'll be hitting shoulders, and then Tuesday would be quads and calves, while Wednesdays then back and triceps. And then I'll have a break before hitting, say, chest and buys. And then I'll do hamstrings with glutes and calves again. Sort of like that. That's how I am training currently. So I'm not really following a push-pull or this and that. That's just how I'm training at the moment in order for me to be able to recover effectively while I'm in a calorie deficit at the moment. So that's just what's working for me right now. It might not work for you at this stage. So whatever your goals are, obviously it will change. Are you going to compete? Yes, I'm gonna compete. So I've currently been prepping for, I think 6 weeks now, maybe. So a bit of a longer prep, but I mean, I really am determined to make some noise when I come to the stage. Like, I really wanna know for myself that I've brought my absolute best physique and that I haven't got anything to regret. Like, as long as I know personally that I've stepped on the stage and I'm the best I could possibly have been and I've followed every single step that I could have, then that'll make me absolutely happy. And I mean, if we pull off a win, then that's just even better. That would be absolutely insane. But yes, I will be competing at the end of March, so very excited for that. Big things definitely coming, and there's a series that you guys will be able to follow coming out very shortly, so stay tuned for that. How long have you been training? Currently, I think it's coming up to about 6.5 years now, so I've been training for a fair amount of time. I wouldn't say at this extent, like at this sort of intensity, I haven't been training for 6.5 years, probably 4 years. Properly, like actively going hardcore at the gym, trying to make something out of it. Whereas the first 2.5 years was sort of your typical, I've just started, I'm sort of ego lifting with crap form, this and that. You don't know too much, you're just there with your mates, trying to lift as heavy as you can, show off a little bit. So I wouldn't really count that as intense training, but it was all a learning process. Everybody goes through it. If you're currently in that process, then just a little bit of advice, even though it wasn't asked for in the question, just reduce the weight, focus on the form. At the end of the day, your mates might be like, oh, I'm lifting more than you, blah, 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 but just that. At the end of the day, you'll start to look better than them, you'll be stronger than them and stuff like that. So just make sure that you drop the weight. Don't make the same mistakes that we all made. Learn from us, because it'll only benefit you guys down the track. Do you shave your chest? Sometimes I'll shave it, like I won't shave it with a razor. I'll give it like a trim with the electric buzzer. But as of recent times, I've just started using hair removal cream because I'm not a huge fan of having just all this chest hair and stuff, and it seems to be growing out fairly dark at the moment and rather thick. So I'm not a huge fan of it, but it was funny the other day when I first started to use the hair removal cream, because I didn't read the back of the thing, and also I thought because I was a male and it going to my nipples it wouldn't hurt so much, so I rubbed it everywhere, and lo and behold, I felt like my nipples were on fire for a good 2 days. So yeah, that was definitely learned from those mistakes, don't worry about that. What supplements do you recommend for a beginner? So if you're classing yourself as a beginner, as in you're in your first like 6 months, I don't recommend any supplements at all, period. Eat your food for your protein. There's not really any excuse why you can't get enough protein in via just eating. Protein powder is sort of there as a luxury, like if you really need it and you just don't have time to consume a meal, then I would say you guys should take it. But the best sort of protein really is coming from your foods. But I mean, if one of your foods you would like to have would be protein oats, then go get some protein powder and throw it in. Otherwise, down the track, after say 6 months of training to maybe a year of training, you guys could incorporate some creatine into your supplementation. But even still, that's not really necessary. However, it's probably one of the ones that I would more so recommend to somebody if they wanted to do it. Don't waste your money on BCAAs and stuff like that. It's just drink cordial instead of Gatorade, like it's useless. But yeah, supplements for beginners, I don't really recommend them at all for beginners because naturally you guys have so much that you can put on just from eating healthy foods, good nutritious foods. You can get it all from that. So just honestly, change up your diet from your Macca's and KFC. Go get yourself a barbecue chook from Woolies or Coles, smash that with a nice salad or something like that, and yeah, you guys will see some solid results. Favorite exercise. So my favorite exercise currently would probably have to be, right now at this stage, probably lateral raises for the shoulders, not gonna lie. It seems to change like monthly or even weekly sometimes. Right now, while I'm recording this, my favorite exercise, lateral raises, definitely, because I just like getting a good shoulder pump and growing my delts. So that's that. How do I maintain my diet without cheating? Pretty much, if you guys are dieting and you feel the need to cheat on your diet, then you're either eating way too low, like you're not having enough food at all if you're really getting cravings to want to cheat on your diet. Otherwise, you've just gone too hard way too quick. And even still, to maintain a healthy diet, you guys can still eat what you want. You don't have to go full on like what I'm doing. Like what I'm doing with my diet, that's extreme. Like this is the sort of extreme side of dieting because I'm dieting down for a competition. If you guys aren't going to be doing a competition, then feel free to have like a snack here or there. Like you can incorporate a chocolate bar into your meal, into your daily intake. Like when I'm not prepping for the show, I was having a blueberry muffin every single day for pre-workout. And then even still, if I wanted a pizza during the week, I'd go get myself a pizza, because at the end of the day, as long as like 70% of my meals were healthy and on track, then I still had tolerance because I'd go out and enjoy myself still. So if you guys feel the need to cheat on your diet, I think you need to relook at your diet, because you shouldn't feel the need to cheat on it, and you shouldn't also feel guilty on cheating on it, because it's called just having a healthy relationship with food. You can eat what you want if you feel like it. Obviously, moderation is key. Are you gay? I actually get asked this a fair bit. Like, it's surprising how many times I get asked this through my DMs as well as in person. I was actually at the gym the other day and a girl approached me and asked me if I was gay because apparently I was very pretty. So yeah, but no, unfortunately I am not gay. I have a girlfriend, which we're fairly happy. However, I do still support the gay community entirely, but myself, I unfortunately do not swing that way. But yeah, moving on. How do you manage stress? I think stress management for me, it's probably in the form of literally going to the gym, even though that still doesn't manage it entirely for me. I still have stress, I just am good at sort of holding it type of thing, which is not healthy at all. But I have been trying other mechanisms and stuff like that, which I think may be working. For instance, I get up earlier in the morning, so I'm not rushing. I'm able to cook myself a breakfast, do morning stretches, which I also use as a form of meditation in the morning. So that might also be benefiting me a little bit in that department. But I'm still learning myself to manage my own stress. So a little bit hard for me to be able to give advice on it when I'm still sorting out ways for myself. Do you like basketball? I mean, I'm not very good at it. I will like to shoot some hoops and stuff like that every now and then. But I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to play a game of it. However, when it comes to like the NBA and stuff like that, I'm more than happy to watch it, and I do find it very interesting. Like, I can sit and watch it. I do enjoy watching basketball, I should say, whereas playing it, not as much, but I think that's just because I suck at it. So, as people say, you usually don't like things that you suck at. Favorite place you have traveled to, and where do you want to travel? So we'll start with obviously my favorite place I have traveled to. That would have to be Thailand, because it's just a beautiful place. I absolutely love it. I'm actually going back there later this year. So I'm really excited for that. Yes, I know some people will be like, well, you should have gone somewhere else instead of going to the same place. But I just enjoyed it so much that I want to go back and experience more there. I don't go there for the partying and stuff like that. That's really not up my alley. I'm not huge on partying or anything like that in that matter. But I just found it really calming, relaxing. The people were so nice there. The food was great and cheap. So that's another bonus. Absolutely loved that. But yeah, where do you want to travel? There's many places that I would love to travel, Canada being one of the main ones. And then there's all the sort of dreamy places like the Bora Bora and stuff like that, which I wouldn't mind getting out to. But I think the main places realistically that I want to go would be like Canada, the United States, Japan, Singapore's on the list as well. There's a couple of them, but yeah, those are the sort of main places that I really want to travel to and check out. What is your favorite food? So on prep, my favorite food would be either kangaroo fried rice or my breakfast, but let's scratch that because that's a very short listed thing to be going off. And let's go say I'm not dieting. What is my favorite food?
A few moments later.
I want to say pizza, but I also don't. And I also want to say burgers, but I don't because that's so generic that I want to think of what my actual favorite food is, which would probably have to be like a creamy chicken pasta bake or a carbonara sort of thing. I do love creamy pastas with chicken and bacon and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, let's just go with a carbonara, nice fettuccine carbonara. That would have to be one of my favorite foods. What tattoos do you have and will you get more? So I've got one on my chest here, as you guys can see, which is tiger pulling through. On my ankle, I have a dumbbell from the gym. And on my other ankle, I have a semicolon, which represents just its mental health awareness, essentially. So that one does mean a lot to me. The one on the dumbbell was sort of, you know, gym bro thing. You just wanted to have a piece of me. It was something that means a lot to me as in the gym. So I was like, what better way than to get a dumbbell because it changed my life going to the gym. Where do you want your bodybuilding to go? I'd really like to see myself in bodybuilding moving up in the world. Sort of, if one day I could become a pro, that would be absolutely insane. Like that's what I'm sort of trying to work towards. Whether or not that's in 5 years, whether it's in 10 years, I'm not going to stop working hard until I get there. Yeah, that's sort of where I want to go, but I'd really love to just become a pro bodybuilder, essentially. I think that's where I would like it to go. Is dieting hard? Well, it's definitely not easy, but it does get easier the longer that you do it. So like I'd say for the first 2 weeks when I go down to like this sort of dieting, the first 2 weeks absolutely sucks because your taste buds are changing, you're still used to having the foods that you love. But after those first 2 weeks, if you really push yourself, your taste buds change and healthier food just starts to taste really damn good. Like if you handed me a tomato right now, I would happily eat it like an apple and I'd think it's full of flavor. But yeah, dieting is hard at the beginning, but once you pass that first 2 weeks to a month, it becomes so easy and you don't even have an interest in all the unhealthy foods. Well, I shouldn't label them unhealthy foods, more so the sweeter foods and the pizzas and burgers of the world. More indulgent foods, I should say. How much do you weigh? Currently, I think I'm about 86.5 kilos. I'm not sure what that transfers into in pounds, but yeah, I'd say I'm about 86.5 kilos currently. Weird sex story. Weird sex story. Okay, story time, I guess it is. So probably one of my weirdest sex stories would probably have to be when I actually lost my virginity. It's a little bit odd, but anyway, sort of went down, met up with a girl. We met up and wanted to try stuff out, and there was sort of only a little bushy area around the side. So we went down there, had a session, and then worked out that we were actually in the back of a cemetery. So that was very interesting once I worked that out, and to this day I still sit there and I'm like, wow, that happened in a cemetery. Why do you wake up so early? I like to wake up early just because it reduces the stress out of my morning, and I can fit so much more into my mornings when I'm waking up early. So generally now I'll be getting up at about 4 a.m, but my body's automatically been waking up at 3:30, which sucks. So I'll only get out of bed at about 4, sort of just start doing my morning routine, like stretching, cook my breakfast, meal prep for the day, run through my social media and just check everything out. I've been trying to start to read, however, that hasn't been working out in my favor too much because I'm not huge on reading, but I'm slowly trying to get there. But yeah, I just find that waking up early in the morning, because I have to leave to go to work at about 6 a.m. anyway. So if I give myself 2 hours before I have to leave for work, it just makes me feel like I've done stuff for me at the start of the day, instead of feeling like my whole day has just been work. And I think that really benefits me mentally a lot. Anyway guys, that wraps it up for the Q&A today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy and found it a little bit interesting. If you did, leave a like on the video, drop a comment down below on any feedback you guys may have. And if you're new around here, hit the big red subscribe button and become part of the squad today. And I'll see you guys next time.